now tell me this. Let's take another example. If the first name starts with A till G, write. Starts with A, starts with B, C, D, E, F or G, then return a listers. Okay, this is what we are going to have as the output. Okay, then similarly, what is it? Okay, then, if it is between H to maybe M or not M, let's say A, M, P, let's say P, then we will say His Majesty. And then if it is L to Z, we will say Lords. Correct. This is what you want to do. Then what would you do? Which function would you use? Evaluate expression or evaluate expression band. Both will be fine, but which one would you prefer? The band one, right, because otherwise what will happen? Again, you have to create separate calculated fields for this text field. Now tell me this, if prior experience, okay, not prior experience, let's not do that. If job profile is or not job profile. Let's say if management level is manager or above. Okay, I will have to get it proposed. We are going to have. If the management level is manager or above, we are going to have a proposed allowance plan, right? We are going to find out. What allowance plan are we going to propose for this, for the new managers? So if it's a proposed allowance plan will be, let's say, car allowance, right? If the management level is, let's not say manager, or above, let's say only manager. Okay. If the management level is director, then the allowance level is executive allowance. Okay. Similarly, if management level is CEO, then the proposed allowance is CEO allowance, right? And this is not a text. Let me tell you this. This is the link to. This is the allowance that we want to have in the output so that whoever is doing this report, whoever is looking at this report, can straight away click on this allowance and make sure that it is included in the package. So we want to return the allowance. Okay. Or maybe let's do it something else. Okay, forget about this. If the management level is manager, return first line manager, okay. I mean name of the first line manager. If it is director, name of first name of, oh sorry. I'm getting it all wrong. If the management level is manager. Name of the second line manager. Like manager is manager. If the management level is director, return the name of the manager. And if the management level is CEO, who is the manager of the CEO? Himself, right? Name of CEO, or himself, or I mean himself or self. Right. This is what we're going to do. So if this is a requirement, like if the management level is a manager, we have to return the second line manager's name so that it is a clickable link. If the management level is director, you have to return the name of the manager. Because the director may not have a second level manager, right? He may be reporting directly to the CEO, and, if it is a CEO, return the name of the CEO, which is himself or self. If this is the criteria that you have to do, this is the case. This is a calculated field you have to come up with. Which function would you use? Evaluate expression. Evaluate expression band or lookup range band. Evaluate expression, is it? Yeah. Because here you have to return an instance. Here you have to do some more calculation, because you have to find out who is the second line manager, which is manager's manager, and so on. So you have to come up with these fields. So this is not a hard-coded text that you can put it right. It will be dynamic depending on the worker. Right. So you have to return something that is dynamic. So that will be. That is stored in a field. Right, so you have to select that field. Managers manager, level 02, etc. These are available fields. So you have to select those and not hard code something like this: amateur, senior, or legend. Okay. So in this case, evaluate expression is a better fit. Anyway, coming back to this, let's use the same calculated fields in our report. And see what it does. Okay. Where is the report? Here it is. Custom report edit. Okay. Let's add it here at the end. Okay. So here also we are doing experience bands. But using an LRB. Lookup range band. Right. So let's see if we get the theme output or not. Run. Okay. Looks the same. Right. When we did evaluate expression, it's giving me senior. Evaluate expression, band senior. But an LRB also. Same output. So our output was exactly the same. So in this particular case, actually, it did not make much of a difference. We could use either of them, but with this example only, we were able to explore 3 different types of calculated fields. One is an evaluate expression. Evaluate expression will allow us to evaluate a series of functions. Right. First has to be an if condition. If the condition is true, then you have to return something. If the condition is true, then what happens? Then what did we see? Evaluate expression band, which is a kind of which is very similar to evaluate expression. But the only limitation being it can return only a fixed text kind of an output. Correct. And then we looked at lookup range band. And what does that? What does that field do? A lookup range band. A lookup range band allows you to evaluate, to define a range. Definitely it will allow you to do that. And straight away you can put in the values. Correct. So 3 different ways of doing the same thing. Now you decide which one you want. Right. Depending on the specific use case. Got it. There will be specific use cases for each of these. If there is a multiple series of conditions and you have to have some, if the value that you return is not straightforward text. Yes, you have to use evaluate expression. Otherwise, you may use lookup range bands or you may use evaluate expression bands as well.